I'll start jabbering and then action. First one, hard palate. That'll lead to soft palate. Teeth. I'm not even going to point those out. Tongue, I'm not pointing that out. Uvula, I will point that out. So you go to the soft palate, that dangling thing in the back of your throat, dangling little punching bag thing, that's your uvula. Now we have our pharynx, or our throat regions. We have our nasal pharynx, our oral pharynx, and then our laryngopharynx. So pharynx is throat. The separation between nasal and oral basically is this soft palate slash uvula, nasal pharynx, oral, laryngopharynx. Epiglottis, here's that flap that prevents food and drink, whatever you're swallowing, to go down your windpipe, down your trachea. That is it for this gland. Parotid gland. We have our submandibular gland. So submandibular, below your mandible. And then our sublingual gland, so below the tongue. Now we have esophagus. Really, you can see it best seen there. Esophagus. So that's posterior to your trachea, your windpipe. Now we'll go to stomach. So your stomach's going to rest in there like that. We have our gastroesophageal sphincter or cardiac sphincter. That's really this first portion. We also have a cardiac region. The top fundus region. You have the main body. And then the pyloric region. I'm going to take the stomach out. You have curvatures, lesser curvature, and a greater curvature. You have muscle layers, longitudinal, circular, and oblique. So there's the three muscle layers of the stomach. Longitudinal, circular, and oblique. Serosa. The outermost layer is serosa. You open it up, you have your rugae, or your mucosal folds. This last part here, you can actually see the pyloric sphincter. And that's it for the stomach. Here's our pancreas. We have a pancreatic duct. And then we have an accessory pancreatic duct, or we may have an accessory pancreatic duct. That's it for pancreas. We don't do, I should go in there, but we'll go here. Liver next. So here's your liver. That green thing is your gallbladder. Now we have a common bile duct. This one right here is your common bile duct.
The white one? Or
The yellow?
one?
The green.
Oh, okay.
Needed a better pointer.
Wait, the whole green or just the yellow part of it?
This part right here, where the common hepatics and the cystic duct, they drain into this common bile.
That's the yellow.
Well, the yellow's the lumen of it. It's also here, the common bile. You can also see it there. Now we have a common hepatic. Hepatic, think liver. This is actually a bad liver to show you. Good. That makes it good. Let me grab another liver. How's my pointer? Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
There's common hepatic. This thing's probably filthy too.
Point to the comment.
Common hepatic.
Okay.
So hepatic, think liver. Cystic is your cystic duct. Think gallbladder. So you got your gallbladder, cystic duct. That's going into here. So this is our common bile. Here's our common hepatic. Go into our common bile. So, those. Now lobes. With our liver, you stick it in there. This is where our liver goes. Oh, I'm just kidding. So we have our right lobe, a left lobe. So there's right, there's left. You remove it. This thing is your quadrate lobe. and then your caudate lobe. Looks like a tail.
Can you angle this way more?
Oh yeah. Quadrate lobe. Quad, 4, quadrilateral. Quadrate, and then caudate. We did some ducts on our pancreas, pancreatic duct and accessory pancreatic duct. Those things, well, as well as our common bile duct, they drain into the first portion of our small intestine. This is the first part of our small intestine. That's the duodenum. You see that slice, that matches up there. So here's the duodenum. Within the duodenum, you got that one there. That hole, that opening's coming from our pancreatic duct. That one's the major duodenal papillae, the papillae. That big hole coming from our pancreatic duct. The one above it is our minor. Wherever that
You can
one.
just barely see it.
Can you? All right. Well, the one above that, that's coming from our accessory pancreatic duct. So that's going to be our minor duodenal. The major, so you just got to kind of line up the tubes. There's major, and then above that's going to be your minor. And it's duodenum, and it's a papillae. Small intestine is going to be our jejunum. And then the lower part is going to be our ileum. So there's 3 parts to our small intestine. The duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Well, ileum. That's it for small intestine. To our large intestine. Oh, that's how this looks. Small intestine, large intestine. Jejunum, ileum down here. Let me remove this. You open it up. You see a slice there. So this is like the end portion of our ileum going into the first portion of our small intestine.
Large.
Large intestine, thank you. I'll pause for edit. First part of our large intestine. Sorry guys, hamming it up a little bit. This part is called the cecum. Cecum means blind pouch. Yeah. This part here is where our ileum and our cecum join. So our ileocecal junction or ileocecal valve. This part, this worm-like structure, this is our vermiform appendix. Then we have the portions of our colon. We have our ascending colon, our transverse colon, our descending colon, our sigmoid colon, then our rectum. Now, where these things bend, these are called flexures. So you have the ascending colon, and then you have your right colic flexure, or where it's, when you organize it in here, your hepatic flexure. So there's your liver. That first bend is our right colic flexure or our hepatic flexure. Oh, that's just what they named it. Now you go transverse colon, right, then you go to this flexure, this bend. This is going to be our splenic flexure or our left colic flexure. Then you come down, another flexure. You have your sigmoid flexure. That's it for this band, this white band running the length of our colon. It's actually numbered right there. That's your tenai coli. Tenai coli. It's taking your small or your large intestine and kind of puckering it up. It's making all these things. These are Jimmy Hofstra. They're Hofstra, but it puckers it up kind of like a curtain.